1974. Originally, this farm would be, subsistence, trying to make a living in those days. My grandfather, back in the 1900s, was into bees. Then they branched into potatoes and egg-laying hens. And then we eventually, about 1970, we went into the wild birdseed business.
Right. And you were growing what kind of seeds back then?
Back then, you'd be growing oats and red clover for seed and stuff like that. But once we got into the birdseed business, and we started growing, the oats, corn, millet, sunflowers was. I guess we were the first grower of sunflowers in Ontario, and at present we're the largest grower continuously growing sunflowers in Ontario.
And how many acres have you got here?
This is a 100-acre farm, and then we rent some properties, and so we're working a little over 250 acres, which in today's standards isn't very much, but because we're so specialized with the wild birdseed and everything like that, it is quite a lot more work than just growing a field of corn or a field of soybeans or something.
And the majority of your sales is coming from individuals arriving here just to buy seed for their homes, right?
Yes, that's correct. We do wholesale a very small portion of our crop to other stores and stuff, but I would say 98% of our sales are direct from the barn here. On 6 days a week.
Right.
We get 1 day off for Sunday.
Right. And you also sell some feed for geese and deer as well?
Yeah, we sell whole corn, which we run through the seed cleaner behind me here. It's all nice and clean and everything, and it goes for deer and trumpeter swans and geese and all the different critters in the wintertime that like the larger seeds.
Right. And what changes have you seen in the industry over the past several years?
Well, when we first started doing this, we were kind of like the only game in town. Right. But since that, like every corner store sells wild birdseed, and it makes it a little tougher maybe. Mm-hmm. But because we are so much cheaper, we have a very loyal clientele that keep coming back.
And you don't have as much filler. You were telling me about the different kinds of seeds that birds don't like and stuff.
Mm-hmm, yeah. A lot of the mixes out there have wheat and milo in them. Birds will not eat wheat and milo. It's put in as a filler, the same as what they're doing now with the gravel. They put bird grit in the mixes. And like Ontario has lots of bird grit. Right. And gravel in the laneways and wherever. So we don't need to be buying and selling gravel.
Barry, show me around a bit here. What do we got going here?
Okay, this is our main seed cleaner where we clean all our seed. All the garbage goes out the back, and the good seed goes into the storage bins over farther. Right. We'll see maybe them later. This is the bagger we use for taking off the seed. Right now we've been doing corn, and it takes out all the chaff and the cobs and stuff.
Right. And what's sitting in behind there? You've got all of these pipes coming down in here.
Yeah,
so
this is an elevator leg that takes all the grain to the top, and then it distributes it from there into different sections of the seed cleaner.
Right.
The red thing up there is for taking the tails off of oats,
right.
So the oats become very heavy for horse feed.
Right.
And we do sell quite a lot of our seed too for horses. And for other livestock as well. We don't just specialize in birdseed, but a little bit of everything.
Okay.
Most of our equipment is relatively old,
right.
but it keeps running.
Right.
We don't spend a lot on newfangled equipment,
right.
And therefore we can sell cheaper too, our product.
So Barry, we're outside. These are the seed bins. What have we got here? What's being stored in here?
Okay, we have sunflowers in the first tank, and we have corn in the next 2 tanks down through there. We have oats in some of them and millet in some of them. And all of these tanks have aeration within the tank so that we can turn the fans on a nice cool crisp day and make sure that the seed stays very fresh.
And they get in, the seeds get into the barn from with augers in the pipes back there?
Yes, we have grain augers which deliver some of the tank's contents into the seed cleaner, where we mix the bird seed and the different types of farm feeds, which are mixed of different grains. You can maybe see all the different augers. Each auger comes out of a different grain tank. I think there's 9 different grain tanks up here that hold the clean product.
Right.
We then weigh them off onto the scales here, and they run into this old mixer, which still works just as good as the day it was built, and probably back in the 40s.
Now, I was looking before at this thing overhead here. What is that up there?
That's called a rack lifter. Now, the platform that you see is the deck of a wagon, and they would take that wagon to the field and load it up with sheaves. They would then bring it in the barn, and a horse would pull the wagon top and load all the way up to the top of the barn. And the old farmers up there, up on top, would then fork it over to the side of the barn, and they could fill it right to the ceiling, right to the roof.